Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm though in recovery, but I just wanted to make a quick little review on this loaner car that was just dropped off to us earlier today. This here is the 2025 Acura RDX. Now, I have made a 2025 RDX video before recently in the advanced package model, but this one is the standard model or the base model. Now, this one, of course, does have the 2-liter turbocharged engine, also known as the K20, making 272 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. These ones are going to have the standard wheels, but they're going to be blacked out, so these are actually accessories from the factory. And of course, you're going to have a more basic interior, but other than that, it is a pretty nice looking one. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and let's get started. And as you can also see, we have the typical key. The only difference is that this one does not have remote start, but it does have your lock, unlock, your trunk release, your panic alarm, and the Acura logo on the other side, along with the driver number. Starting off here in the front, we do have, of course, Acura's standard grille here, which does look really nice. And of course, you have your adaptive cruise control system right inside it here. And you do also not have that front-facing camera, which is going to be standard on the tap package and the higher trims. But we do have our standard LED daytime running lights with dual eye LED projector headlamps. And checking out our wheels, we are taking a look at a set of Continental Cross Contact LX Sport wheels, and these, I believe, are on 19-inch tires. These measure 235, 55 R19s all the way around. And of course, coming over to our door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system on for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. It does, of course, having the key fob in your pocket. Come to the door handle, just put your hand in here. It's a sensor. The vehicle will beep when you know the vehicle is unlocked and you're able to jump on inside. And then when you're finished, close it up, tap this button right here, and the vehicle will indicate that it's locked. The exterior color of this one is finished off in liquid carbon metallic with the ebony leather interior. Coming over to our door panels, you can see we're going to have some hard touch material on top of here. And then down here, we do have some softer material. We also do have our aluminum door handle, 2-person memory seating. And amongst this area, we do have our illuminated controls here for the doors, which does include our controls for our mirrors, our power locks, child window lock, as well as our power windows. We also have a little speaker right here in the door jamb. And this button here opens our trunk area. Give me 1 second, guys, to adjust the seat. Along with that smart key access system, this vehicle does come standard with push button ignition. By having the key fob in your pocket or within the vehicle itself, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The RDX does come standard with a fully leather wrapped racking pan power steering wheel with controls on the left as well as on the right sides. And even the base model does come standard with paddle shifters on both the left and right sides of the steering wheel. To the left side, we're going to have our controls for volume, as well as our hands-free voice, our back button, our apps, and then this is our power button here, which is going to turn on the radio, which is pretty nice. And this side, we're going to have our controls here for our cruise setup, adaptive cruise control, and departure warning, as well as our information scroll button right here. Now, coming up here, we're taking a look at our standard gauge cluster consisting of 2 main gauges. To the left, we have our tachometer. To the right, we have our speedometer. And right in the middle, we're going to have our coolant temperature, information center, as well as our fuel gauge. Underneath that, we have our compass. We have our gear selector. We do have our exterior temperature, current odometer reading, as well as the drive mode for this vehicle. With that said, we can cycle through a couple of different things on the screen via the steering wheel. Push that to dismiss the seatbelt indicator button. Of course, it's going to show us that our blind spot information system is off. Disregard that. And of course, that brings us to our current speed. It's also going to include things such as our trip computer for trip A and trip B information, as well as our average fuel economy and range to empty. We do also have our maintenance information, tire pressure monitoring system, Super all-wheel drive, which concerns our suspension and all that stuff. We do also have our seatbelt indicators we saw before, are minimal when it comes on to our instrument cluster, or in this case, the screen, which is under our blank, which is basically the blank page is what I'm trying to say here. We also do have our safety support. We also have our sport gauge settings and speed and distance units. And so that brings us over here to our 10.25-inch display. This, of course, was one of the minimal changes that they did for 2025, essentially making Apple CarPlay and Android Auto take up the entire screen instead of just the 8-inch area that it took up before. But as you can see, it is pretty much standard. You're going to have your phone, Sirius XM, FM radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, smart shortcuts, system updates, also Bluetooth audio. And to the right, we're going to have our audio system. And it's also going to consist of other things as well, as we'll discuss going forward. But with that being said, I want to bring our attention up here a little bit more. So with that being said, we're going to use a little scroll pad down here to kind of go through everything. We're going to go over our phone, for example. This is going to allow us to pair a phone to the vehicle via the Bluetooth system. And when we do that, it's going to give us more information. You have your Sirius XM, FM radio, as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Smart shortcuts and allow to make the vehicle learn more about how you use the vehicle on a daily basis. System updates, and to provide you with system updates on the day by day, or in this case, whenever there is one needed. You also have your Bluetooth audio, which as you can see. Coming to this side, you have your USB audio here, AM radio, Amazon Alexa, AT&T hotspot, as well as your general settings. Coming over to that, we have our system, connections, display, as well as our vehicle. And of course, as you scroll down to the very bottom, we do have our camera, sound, and notifications. Coming back up here, we're going to start things off with our system, which is for settings for the vehicle information system. This includes our system volumes, touchpad sensitivity, date and time, our system units, our language, factory data reset, and other features. Coming back over here, we do have our connections, which allows us to manage our Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and other things. Display is going to adjust the display of the screen. Vehicle, when we go into that, that's going to give us our driving position setup, our lighting setup, our door setup, power tailgate setup. We do have our keyless access setup, meter setup, driver assist system setup, as well as maintenance information. Coming down here, we do have other things as well for our camera. Our sound adjustments here, which you click on that, we can adjust our bass and treble, which also adjusts our bass, mid-range, and treble levels, our balance and fader, and our speed volume compensation. And last but not least, any notifications that may come up. And so with that being said, that's going to be a quick tour of the infotainment system here in the 2025 Acura RDX. Before we get any further, we put the vehicle into reverse. You do get a standard backup camera with guidance lines, and they do adjust as you turn the wheel. You also have a couple other camera angles that you can see at the very bottom there, which is going to be very helpful, especially if you want to have a kind of 360 view of what's going on around you. With that being said, coming down below that, we do have our volume knob here, as well as our seek and track, our hazard light button here, dual zone climate controls. Of course, you do have your fan speed here, different modes for your fan, your turn off the fan here, fan positioning, fan speed, AC control here, your recycling front and rear defrost, heated seats for the base model, which is standard, as well as auto air conditioning for those heated seats. You do have your dynamic mode selector, which I'll come back to in a second, auto stop start function, passenger airbag light, our 10-speed automatic transmission down here. And that's pretty much it until we get to down here, which is where we'll have our little D-pad, which is what we were using earlier. We also have a shortcut button, which includes our back button, home button, our cards, and then the adjustments for those cards. Now coming up to our dynamic mode selector, this is going to be our drive mode selector here, which does consist of a couple different modes, which include sport, normal, comfort, and snow. It's pretty cool. Combo below that, although you can't really see anything, you do have this wireless charging pad. This used to be where you would have the hump right here, which would be used to actually go into this area, but it's kind of since we moved up here, so it can still work. But now you have this a lot of space here for other things, which does include that optional wireless charging pad, which this one does not have since it's the base model. However, you do have two cup holders here. You do have your glove compartment, which opens up like this. Good amount of storage space inside with a USB port, as you can see illuminated right there. Coming over to our seats, it does look really nice and comfortable. It is more of a genuine leather, as you can see, although you do have some perforations coming down the middle, as well as that white stitching on the middle here, as well as on both sides. And overall, it's a pretty comfortable seat. And then come over here to this side, you have a button which we can open up for a glove compartment, or I should say our glove box. And as you can see, it is dampened, not really lined with felt, and you have a decent amount of storage space inside. As you can see, we also have illuminated footwells here, so that way you'll be able to step on in pretty easily. We do have our mirror up here. We have our controls here for our sunroof, which this one does come with, as well as our reading lights. We also have our sunglass holder up here. We do have our mirrors here, or I should say our visors. A mirror inside with a illuminated light, which is very bright. And then coming over here to our left side, we do have some controls here for our safety features here: traction control off switch, brake hold, as well as the electronic parking brake. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the 2025 Acura RDX. And just for safety, I'm going to turn the vehicle off, so that way the battery will cool down. Coming to the back of the vehicle, as you can see, materials do fall through in this one, which do look really, really nice inside, which is as expected. You're going to have 2 seat pockets in the vehicle. You're also going to have this air vent. You're going to have your air vents back here, and underneath here you do have the USB ports, although you can't really see them. And then you do have a pad armrest with 2 cup holders. Fuel tank is right here. Open it up, it does reveal your capless fuel filler, but as you can see, it's hard to see inside of here, but it is in there. And there a bit of an instruction of how to use it, as well as a warning label. Coming to the back of the RDX, we do have LED taillights. Of course, this is a loaner vehicle courtesy of Goodson Acura, so a huge thank you to them for making this possible. And of course, with that said, you have your Acura badge here, LED lighting as I just showed you, and your RDX and Super Handling all-wheel drive badges on the right side. And even on the base model, you do have a fully automatic tailgate. Come inside of the RDX, as you can see, I will put the figures on here as I'm editing the video, but you have plenty of cargo room to put stuff in, of course, and it's accompanied by an all-weather floor mat that does say RDX on it. You can use these levers here on both this side and the left side to fold down the second row seats to expand cargo space in the vehicle. And underneath here, when we open it up, give me 1 second, guys, to do that. It won't open, but I know underneath here, because I filmed an RDX before also, you do have extra storage space inside. You have some storage space on this side, and you do have one on this side if you just open up this little area here. Well, actually not in this case, but you do on higher trim levels, I believe. And then when you're done, tap this button here, and the cargo area will close down automatically. Or I should be saying your tailgate will close down automatically. You do have body colored mirrors as we approach them right now with LED turn signals on them. Under the hood of the Acura RDX, we are looking at the K20C4 engine, or the 2-liter turbocharged inline-4, producing 272 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. This, of course, is being made to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this vehicle has Super Handling all-wheel drive standard. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to adjust the seat once again. All right, guys. And the last thing we are going to do in this video is go over this vehicle's window sticker. This is a 2025 Acura RDX with Super Handling all-wheel drive, finished off in liquid carbon metallic with the ebony leather interior. And as you can see on the far left side here, you're going to have all your different categories. That's going to show all the features that come standard with the vehicle. And of course, it's going to show us our Acura Watch features, which, as you can see, does come with your adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, lane keeping assist system, as well as road departure mitigation. And then coming up here, we do have our MSRP of $44,700. And the only option on here is the color, which is $600 for the liquid carbon metallic, plus our destination and handling for $1,350. Total vehicle price for this one as new, or when it was new before it became a service loaner, was $46,650. Now, as you can see, this one here does have a few options on here. As a protection package has been put on the vehicle for $989. For a total of a little over $47,600, as you can see at the very bottom. Fuel economy comes in at 21 city, 27 highway, and 23 combined. And overall vehicle score for this RDX comes in at 5 out of 5 stars. So in general, the Acura RDX, like I mentioned in the previous upload that I did of this vehicle at my local Acura dealership a few months ago, actually, is a pretty good SUV when it comes on to the luxury compact SUV segment. This, of course, competes with the likes of the Lexus NX, for example. And while the NX is a pretty good vehicle, I think this one, even for a base model, is surprisingly good. If you want to get more features like, let's say, the fog lights, you want to get some other I wouldn't say gazebos and gadgets and all that stuff, but if you want to get more features per se, you definitely want to upgrade to the tech, because the tech's going to give you a little bit more to be pretty happy about. You'll get nicer wheels and the fog lights, I believe. Upgrade to the A-Spec, you'll get a completely unique looking vehicle. Same thing can be said about the Advance as well. But for a base model, this one here does come nicely equipped with the blacked out wheels. You do get a surprisingly good amount of cargo room, as you would expect from this segment, and of course technology that is just as good as well. But with that being said, everybody, I hope you all enjoyed this quick tour of the 2025 Acura RDX base model, finished off in liquid carbon metallic with the ebony leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.